If you're a Starbucks coffee drinker, no coffee for you on May 29th. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard. It's Bubba's Daily Update, and if you drink coffee at Starbucks, May 29th, they're closing down for some training. You can't write this stuff. You can't make it up. It's just unbelievable what's going on here. But in the meantime, markets soared again on pathetic, minuscule volume. Again, we're not making it a reason or an excuse that the market should go down. As we said yesterday, and as we said over the weekend, the markets were at a decision point. And it looks like that decision is higher. Now, what makes us think that the markets are higher? Well, we're not seeing the rip-your-face-off variety of rally. We're seeing a steady grind, a pounding of volatility. There's a couple of things that don't make a lot of sense here, and number one would be the bond market. Why is the bond market continuing to rally? It's awkward from the sense that the bond market should not be rallying based on the equities going basically straight up. But it's been a constant rally all day long. The NASDAQ exploded. We had Netflix earnings. They were good, and Netflix is up about $38, which is really about the expectations of movement based on the options pricing. Goldman Sachs reported unbelievable earnings, and the stock's down about $4. Figure that out. This goes back to market expectations. Again, I don't see the markets being able to take off to the upside because of these expectations, but certainly we're not going to get in the way of it right now. Right now, you'd probably have to look for a pullback to buy some support. It looks like we've ended that downtrend for the time being. Gold was lower, about $6-7, came all the way back. Oil was lower, came all the way back and is positive. The dollar is higher, but marginally. The euro currency obviously a little bit lower. But the VIX got pummeled. All right. Now, again, this is a time you look at and saying, hey, is it time to maybe buy some volatility? And my guess is this is probably the time to look at buying some volatility. I mean, we're back down at the 15 range. You know, we were at 25. The 50 print of February 9th was ridiculous, but we were at around 25, at least over 20, and now we're at 15. This is probably a time to look at some volatility and take a chance at buying some. But really, you see the markets are just have ground to a slow halt. Now, again, it doesn't mean we're going to sell them. I mean, certainly I'm not going to get in front of the freight train that has now decided to go back up again. We're going to watch and observe and look for a potential spot to buy. I'm not a big fan, but again, if I have to, I have to. I'm not going to tell the market what to do. The markets are always right, and the markets don't announce themselves, and they do what they're going to do. But as we look through what's going on, again, the bonds are a concern. I think that this is an issue. Oil, again, I look at the rally as really more nonsense than anything else. I think that this is wishing and hoping that oil is going higher. I look for oil to go a little bit lower. And look at the grain markets. The grains did almost exactly as we suspected when we rode over the weekend. Probably a little bit of pullback, but look for an opportunity to buy. Wheat has already been rallying a little bit after its big selling. Corn just drifting lower down to about 380 or so in July, in May. Soybeans, again, were lower. Actually, they were higher, lower, and then closed higher. The meats, look, I think that if you could have read my stuff, I almost gave you tomorrow's newspaper today. We said that the feeders should sell off a little bit, and they did. We thought that the fats would rally, and they did. And hogs are hanging around and looking for a buying opportunity. So at the end of the day, it's extremely quiet. There's not a heck of a lot to do. There's not a lot to get involved in. You can forget about the trade war talk. That's all nonsense. It's already now priced in the market. The real key here, I think, is going to be earnings and how the earnings play out. So far, other than Netflix, the earnings have been very good, and the stocks have eventually sold off. I look for more of that. We've got Alcoa tomorrow. We've got a couple others tomorrow. Alcoa's gone up about 25 or 26% in the last 2 or 3 weeks. I look for that to fail on earnings. And again, maybe it won't, but that would be my estimation based on looking at the chart and one that goes parabolic straight up. But really, it's a great time to more or less observe the markets. We talked about this yesterday. Sometimes you fish and sometimes you cut bait. This is a great time to cut bait because there is nothing really exciting. Even if you catch it right, it's hard to get too excited about what's going on in the markets right now. And not that we need them to go down, we just need them to have some action. And when volume is as pathetic as it is today, there's just nothing really to get involved in. I think that you look, the SPYs are at a key resistance level. Maybe they'll fail from there. Again, we're not going to try to outguess it. We're going to let the markets trade and do our thing. Bitcoin was a little bit lower, but again, it looks to be building a nice little bit of a base. The cryptos look to be building a nice little bit of base. And that's what we're going to watch. Again, sometimes it's better not to trade. And this happens to be one of those times. There's just not a lot to do. So why force yourself into a market that isn't going to be rewarding, even if you're necessarily right? So we will continue to watch, and we'll be back tomorrow. But again, what we'd be looking for now, most likely, is a pullback and a potential buying opportunity. Again, I'm not a big fan, but that's something that we'll look for because that's the right trade to make right now. There is no reason to sell this market at this point as it grinds and drifts higher. Dull markets tend to drift higher. So do not get in front of them. And other than that, there's not much going on. It's just pretty quiet, pretty blasé. So we'll let them trade, and we'll be ready to go when they're ready to go for us. In the meantime, you can look at potentially buying some volatility. In the meantime, this is Bubba's Daily Update. And of course, I want to remind you about our high school investing program, highschoolinvesting.com. Check out the website. And if you like what you see, maybe you want to help us out. We're looking to get to 30,000 high schools. We're in 450, which I financed over the last 7 years. In the meantime, if you'd like to help us out, patreon.com/Bubba Trading. In the meantime, don't forget to catch the Bubba Show every day at 4 to 5 Eastern at libertytalk.fm. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks so much for being here, and we will see you back here tomorrow. Same time, same station, right here in Bubba's Daily Update. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.